McClarkin, who's the Chief Executive of the British Beer and Pub Association. Appropriately dressed, Emma, thank you very much for joining us here on Breakfast. What's the problem then? So if there were to be any extension to the licensing laws or the licensing times, when would that have had to have been applied for?
Well, ordinarily for temporary event notices, as they're called, to help us extend our licensing hours, we would have had to apply 5 days in advance. So it would have required a government blanket order for the country in order to make sure that we're able to open and serve early. However, late last night, the government did say that it was supporting the pubs opening early and serving early, and hope and encouraging our councils to do the same so that we can all get together and enjoy the game, cheering on England from the pub.
I will say the obvious. Some pubs... Can pubs open and just not serve alcohol?
They can, and in fact they can adapt their licensing in order to open for sales of non-alcoholic beverages. But we want people to come to the pub and choose to come to the pub knowing that they can enjoy that full pub experience. And it really is the home of sport. It's where people come together for these great sporting moments. And so we're hoping that people will come down to their local, maybe book a table afterwards and stay for Sunday lunch. But we really would love the opportunity to be a pub, bring the nation together to cheer on the Lionesses on Sunday.
So, morning to you, it's Charlie here. So we are, what is it, 7:54 on Friday morning, ahead of the Sunday match. So I'm just trying to work out clearance to open early on Sunday. How could that possibly happen?
Well, without a recall of Parliament and that order, the government did give this clear steer last night to say to councils, do everything you can to support them. So if there are TENS applications going in this morning, we're asking the councils to quickly process them, give that reassurance. But I think that it is a clear message from the government to say, let them open an hour early, let them serve. And I know that many venues are looking forward to that. Many of them are already booked out. So get yourselves booked in, make this an important event for the country. And, you know, what better place to celebrate as a community than down your local pub cheering on our girls?
No, absolutely. You know, you made that point several times. I'm just, literally, I'm questioning the mechanics of this because my understanding was that a council has to be asked 5 days before. It's not their choice. They can't. Someone sitting in an office today can't just look at a form and say, well, it's fine anyway. I thought this was regulated. I didn't think they had... You're saying they've got the choice whether or not to do it?
The Licensing Act is clear that with the TENS notices, you need to give 5 days notice of consultation. The only way around that is the government to be giving a blanket order that would recall the whole Parliament to be recalled. They have chosen not to do that.
So that can't happen. We know that can't happen.
This clear steer to governments. So that's what is the best that we can do at this late moment, I think. And so I'm hoping that that will be looked on kindly by the councils up and down the country to make this happen. It's a national moment. We need to get behind it. Where there's a will, there has to be a way.
Emma, but I'm sorry, I'm a bit confused. The rules are there, yeah? The regulations are there. The only way that they can be overruled is for Parliament ruling, and that's not going to happen. So that's not going to happen, is it?
I'm afraid the government has also given that clear steer to the councils to make this happen.
To break the rules, to break the to ignore the regulations.
Naga, there has to be a way to make this happen, and the government, in the absence of its parliamentarians, has decided to support us in asking the councils to make this happen and simply allow us to be open as pubs, serving, making sure our customers, their demands are met, and we can seat them down, they can enjoy it, so they don't have to be queuing and queuing and queuing at the bar as the girls are kicking off. They can really concentrate in enjoying this moment. It's historic. It's the first time in nearly 60 years we've been in a World Cup final, and what an achievement it would be to be all together as communities celebrating this occasion.
Emma McClarkin is Chief Executive of the British Beer and Pub Association. Thank you very much for your time this morning. It is worth